Hey, seventh grade. It is me, Miss Smith, coming to you from Vista. Yay, right? Okay. So let's talk about today. Guys, Wednesday. I'm so happy about today being Wednesday because it's what? Hump day. And I have this on the wrong side, so you can't even see it. Oh my goodness. It's hump day. It's Wednesday, October 6th. You can see the camel and his hump. I don't know if you watched the commercial that's like, Mike, hump day. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, that's okay. That's hump day. It's the middle of the week. We're almost done. Like we're halfway through it. And we're gonna start reading about something fun. Well, it might be fun to some, fun, not fun to others. We're reading about death. Okay, so we're still in the Canterbury's Tale, and we're reading this new part of Canterbury's Tale called The Pardoner's Tale, which is Death's Murderers. So we're going to read this story about death, basically. I see the Grim Reaper here, so I know we're going to read about death. For your information, by the way, that's what FYI stands for. A pardoner was a clergy member in the Middle Ages. So they're a member of a church and they needed to raise money for the church. So they were known to be deceitful and trick people into gimmicks. So a pardoner is like a member of the church who's tricking people. That's kind of ironic to me. Okay, so our objective for today. Today, you as students will be able to read the pardoner's tale, Death's Murderers, for gist. So we're going to be reading for gist today. So I want you to be listening on. I'm going to start reading and I want y'all to follow along with my spotlight as I read. But before we start, as you listen to me read the first part, so as you listen to me read these pages, I want you to think in your head, why do these men want to find death? What is motivating to them? And do you think they're actually going to succeed this? So, why do these men want to find death? What is motivating them? And do you think they're going to succeed? Let's go ahead and hop into this reading. I'm going to use my spotlight like I usually do. Let me move my face down so you guys can read it. So I'm going to use my spotlight and I want you to follow along. It says the man Grab, so Grab is actually his name. The man Grab was slumped over a table at the Tavern Inn in Southwark. You may know this place. He had wetted his brain in beer and it weighed heavy. The clanging of the church bell registered dully in his ears. Who are they burying? He asked. Old Harry, the landlord, who was wiping tables close by, said, Don't you know? I wondered why you weren't at the funeral. Him being a friend of yours. It's Coley the fence. Caught it last Wednesday and gone today. Him and his wife and his two boys. Caught what? Demanded Grab, grasping Harry's arm. The Black Death, of course. Then another customer chimed in. Eh, they do say the plague came to Cumbleton over yonder, and death laid hands on every man, woman, and child and carried them off. Where? Carried them off where? Demanded Grab, fighting his way through the drink haze like a ghost through cobwebs. So if you look at this picture, this is like their scene. They're at this bar. They have these barrels in the back. They're at a bar. So let's keep reading. Who knows where death carries men off to? Said a deeply hooded character sitting in the corner of the bar. But he's sure enough comes for every man in the inn. And he's taken twice his share recently, thanks to the plague. Tears of indignation started in Grab's eyes. I don't see what gives death the right to go carry off anyone, he slurred. And if you ask me, it's about time some brave soul to stood up to death and put an end to his carry-ons, his carryings off, I mean. Dip, cut, where are you? He stumbled off into the sunlight to look for his two closest friends. Now he's saying that he wants a brave soul to stand up for death and put an end to his carry-ons. Does this answer one of our questions? Why do these men want to find death? Let's keep reading. Dip was home in bed, but not for long. Grab knocked him up and called him into the street. They met with Cut coming home from a card game and cursing his empty pockets. Grab threw an arm over each friend's shoulder. Have you heard? Old Collie the fence is dead. Death carried off him and all his family in a couple of days. Let's take an oath, friends, not to rest until we've tracked down this death fellow and stuck a knife between his ribs. Is this why these men are trying to find death? Think about the mayor and parish would pay if we brought in Death's dead body. Besides, how many purses do you think he's emptied on the dark highway? Death must have made himself quite a wallet full by now. Do we sense some motivation for why he's wanting to find Death? Cut fingered his sharp penknife, the one he used for cutting purses. Dip felt his fingers itch at the promise of rich pickings. We're with you, neighbor Grab, they cried, and off they reeled, not the sum total of one brain between the three of them. None of them got brains. Okay, let's keep going. All right, let me move myself so you guys can see. They looked for Death in the graveyard, but decided he must be out hunting the living instead. They looked for Death in the fields, but he had always gone before they arrived, leaving the flowers doomed to wither and the leaves sooner or later to fall. Then, as the daylight failed, they saw a small figure on the road ahead. "We've caught him up," cried Grab, and they fell on the man with failing fists. "Wait a minute, this isn't Death at all," said Cut, letting his penknife fall. "He's just some silly old duffer. Look at him. He's older than Methuselah." The old man peered at them out of the dark recesses of his hood. His face was as white and bony as a skull, with purse-string lips and eyes sunk deep in red pools of wrinkled skin. His hands were as brown as vinegar paper, and his back hunched over like a turtle shell. "What do you want with me? Don't I have enough to put up with? Can you leave a poor, blighted old creature in peace?" "You're no good to us," Dip said in disgust. "We wanted Death, not some wrinkled old prune on legs." So if you look, this is like the picture of him. All right, let's keep reading. A bitter laugh creaked out through the creature's gappy ribs. "You want Death? Ah, not half as much as I do. I'm the one poor beast alive that Death can't carry off. I'm condemned to live forever and to creep about the earth in this worn out old body, getting older and older. As for Death, I've just left him under the old tree yonder. If you hurry, you'll find him still there." Cut's knife was raised again. "So you've had dealings with him. We'll kill you anyway." The fossil of a man let go a sigh that seemed to break through his brittle skin. "Ah, I wish you could rob me of this tedious burden life. You should pity me, even if you have no respect for my old age. But don't bother to batter on this prison my soul calls a body. You can't free me from it." He shuffled out from under their raised blades, muttering, "You're the lucky ones. You might die today." "Ooh, what?" "Get to bed with the maggots and mold, the old relic of devil," Grab cursed. "We're on our way to kill Death. Then no one will have to die anymore." As soon as the old man was out of sight, the three accomplices forgot him completely. What is going on? So this is a picture of like what happened. Okay, so back to our questions. One, I think that something's crazy going on if they forgot him completely. But two, let's go to our thinking task. So why did these men want to find Death? Why did they want to find Death? So when I was reading this, I found out that they wanted to find Death because they wanted to kill Death. They wanted to get rid of Death. So what is motivating them? Like they're motivated by the fact that if they can get rid of Death, they can actually show his body to people and like get money for it or whatever. Like that's basically what they want, but they're trying to get rid of Death. And then the last one says, do you think they will succeed? I want y'all to think about that yourself. Like, do you think these people are going to succeed in killing Death, or do you think they might die, like that old man said? I don't know. The suspense is killing me. Y'all go ahead and keep reading. When you read, make sure that you answer the questions on each slide, and then you turn in your assignment. So answer the questions on each slide as you read and turn in your assignment, and you're done for the day, at least for ELA class. Bye, guys.